Your four favorites are It's a Wonderful Life, City Lights, Eephus, and 12 Angry Men. My top choice for you is Ikiru. Like It's a Wonderful Life, it's a life-affirming film about a man who's questioning the value and significance of his existence. Like City Lights, it's a beautiful depiction of altruism. Like Eephus, it's an understated film that explores themes related to community, aging, and legacy. And like Juror 8 in 12 Angry Men, this film involves a display of moral conviction where one man takes a stand to create meaningful change. Limelight also delves into a lot of the themes I just mentioned, such as questioning the value of one's life, altruism, community, aging, and legacy. And it's a Chaplin film like City Lights. Another one of my top choices for you is Remember the Night, which, like It's a Wonderful Life, is a romance film that takes place around Christmas and includes some of the same actors. It's also a courtroom film like 12 Angry Men and a romantic comedy with a lot of heart like City Lights. And like Eephus, it's a quiet, character-driven story about human connection. The Bishop's Wife, like It's a Wonderful Life, is a film from the late 40s where an angel helps a man work through his problems around Christmas time. The Shop Around the Corner, like It's a Wonderful Life, takes place around Christmas and stars James Stewart. And like City Lights, it's a romantic comedy. Speaking of James Stewart, he also stars in Anatomy of a Murder, which, like 12 Angry Men, is a legal drama from the late 50s. James Stewart is also the star of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which, like It's a Wonderful Life, was directed by Frank Capra. And even though this is a political film instead of a legal drama, this one also reminds me of Juror 8 in 12 Angry Men in its portrayal of one man taking a stand. And Beulah Bondi played the mom in both this film and It's a Wonderful Life. She was also in one of my first recommendations, Remember the Night. Speaking of Beulah Bondi, since I mentioned the theme of aging, which you also mentioned in your review for Eephus, I wanted to recommend one of my favorite films about that topic, Make Way for Tomorrow. Adam's Rib is a romantic comedy like City Lights and a courtroom film like 12 Angry Men. Coincidentally, there's another romantic comedy starring Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn that I also want to recommend, and that's Woman of the Year. The reason why I wrote this one down is because you've got Eephus in your favorites, but you saw almost every baseball movie I could think of, even basketball. Woman of the Year isn't a baseball movie per se, but baseball does play a pivotal role in the plot. Another movie that isn't a baseball movie but involves baseball that I think you'd enjoy is The Cameraman, which is a silent romantic comedy like City Lights. And a lot of people tend to compare Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Speaking of baseball, you didn't have Everybody Wants Some marked as watched, which is about college baseball players. It's also a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. And when I watched Eephus, I referred to it as a hangout film, and Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite hangout movies. So I think you'd enjoy both Dazed and Confused and Everybody Wants Some. And Eephus takes place over the course of one day and depicts the last game before their field is demolished, which also reminds me of Dazed and Confused because it takes place over the course of one day and depicts the last day of school. For similar reasons, I think you might appreciate Goodbye Dragon Inn, which takes place over the course of one night and depicts the last film being shown at a theater that's going out of business. I believe the director of Eephus even cited this film as an inspiration. The straight story involves a man reflecting on his life like It's a Wonderful Life. Like City Lights, it's about kindness, perseverance, and fleeting connections. In your review for Eephus, you mentioned how it's about life, aging, America, and camaraderie. And I think the straight story is also a meditation on those same topics, and it's similarly a quiet, restrained film with a simple premise and rural small-town vibe. A Matter of Life and Death, like It's a Wonderful Life, is a 1946 film with elements of romance and fantasy, specifically involving angels and what it means to truly be alive. Wings of Desire also involves angels, combines elements of fantasy and romance, and is a beautiful reflection on being alive. A silent romantic comedy I think you might enjoy since you like City Lights is Girl Shy. Another legal drama from the late 50s that I think you'd enjoy since you like 12 Angry Men is Witness for the Prosecution. But I also wanted to recommend another Billy Wilder film because I just feel like Some Like It Hot fits the vibe of your favorites. If you're a fan of the slapstick comedy in Chaplin's films, I think you might like the Marx Brothers. And I want to recommend A Night at the Opera because there's a gag in this movie that I think you'd appreciate as a baseball fan.